Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. So, I have some new critters here in the mob spawning area, and so these are actually tainted slimes. So, what I ended up doing was I did a little searching online, say how does one get tainted essence? And it turns out that it's not that hard. I just had no idea that's what you're supposed to do. So it turns out that if you have a crucible and a Thaumcraft crucible and you keep feeding junk to it, it's eventually going to overflow. And we kind of know that the a normal crucible creates this pink flux stuff. And so what I end up doing is making a enclosed box here of a crucible. And what I did was I ended up feeding it just all sorts of junk. And of course it overflowed. And the key is it actually behaves a lot like the dropping slimes from pink slime, where we saw that we were able to create a slime mob from the pink slime goo. Well, it works the same way with the purple flux goo. So once I was able to get one slime, it just became kind of trivial to throw it into a safari net and feed it to the auto spawner. And so here we have the Thaumic Slime guy who's just pumping out slime after slime thanks to this this reserve right here of essence. So I still have 1,000,000 essence left, but it just looks like whenever two slimes touch, they merge into a larger slime block. But luckily I have this network of grinders here that's able to hit them with enough force that it breaks down all the slimes into essence. So I am not sure what would happen, but I'm pretty sure that if I wasn't doing this, it would just continue to grow and grow and grow. And so the other thing I did was I ended up turning this guy off, this one collector, and I replaced it with this autonomous activator with my good old scythe. And that I was hoping was going to behead things and give me a better chance of drops, and it seemed to work for a while. And I just need to give it a little bit more RF charge, and then that should be fine. So with that, it's just been running for a while. Oh, right. So then what I ended up doing was pumping the essence into, well, not the ghosts. Let's see, where did I put it? That's doing obsidian for Alright, that's not even, yeah, it's barely ticking at all. Here it is, tainted goo. So if we take a look, so tainted goo is going to give me my tainted essence and slime essence. Not quite sure what it's called, but in any case, that seems to be working pretty well over here. Now I'm still at a point where I have not been able to unlock more things in the Thaumonomicon here. I'm still at the same point of the Eldritch tab where hasn't really done anything more towards the void. So and the portal to the other world, I'm still waiting for some way to get Eldritch Eye. Now I did see that there is a new version of Agrarian Skies out with a Eldritch Eye formula. So probably after this episode, I'm going to do a pretty good backup of the world and then see if I can upgrade the game to kind of move myself along in Thaumcraft. So the oh, that's interesting. So kind of what I, geez, what am I doing? There we go. So one of the next things I want to do is start moving in Botania. It's kind of a neglected task of mine. So out here in Botania World, I cleaned up the mana pools, and this mana spreader is actually now pointing down. So what I have now underneath is a rail system. And so this is the recommended way to basically pipe out all of the spare mana using these mana pumps. So anytime a minecart with a mana pool, so here we have the minecart with mana pool, which is a simple minecart plus a mana pool. Minecarts are very easy to make. So anytime an empty, well, partially full pool comes in contact with the mana pump, it's going to empty a little bit of the mana into the minecart. And so the minecart is then going to work in reverse and basically fill whatever the first non-full mana pool it encounters. So if I were to switch to the Botania wand, we can see that these are full. It's now working on the third mana pool, and I set up 6 here to kind of move it along. I tried making a new a new automation over here, very similar to the one upstairs. This is another mana pool, barely full, but what I'd like to do is basically fill this with items, and basically this will give the ME system the ability to auto-craft Botania items, so I can basically create more mana pools or create mana steel on demand just by having it drop from the dropper into the pool, which will convert and then get sucked out by a transfer node with a waitlist that's going to then suck the items into a box and then back into the ME system. And so over here I have a very similar item called a why am I stuck? Okay, so let's head back over here. So this is a similar runic altar. So I'm trying to figure out a way I can automate this guy too. And so the runic altar has some much larger formulas that can basically drop in and create very fancy items. And so I have this mana spreader feeding from the pool to basically power the runic altar for any kind of formula I need to throw in it. So what I'd like to do, let's have a landing. Let's check out the book and take a look at botanical engineering. So I still have a number of quests here that are open, and some of these, well, actually I don't think any of them are unlocking other things right now, but what I need to do is basically work on some additional items. So let's create a mana spreader. So the redstone mana spreader is just a simple mana spreader plus a piece of redstone. And so here, I'm just living wood in any color of a petal. So let's head upstairs. Yeah, I don't have the formula for it. So let's head up to the ME system and start crafting. So it's not really that hard. Let me check my petal supply here. So I actually don't have any more white petals, so let's grab a orange for the spreader, and then let's grab a piece of redstone. Redstone mana spreader. Okay. Claim reward, and I get another mana spreader in return. So this is opening up more things. So more power, elven mana spreader. So that's going to be a little harder to do right now. Because the elven mana spreaders are going to require dreamwood. And dreamwood is a little more difficult to make. So unfortunately, all of the elven pieces are going to be needing this alphamancy, which are going to require a portal to Alfheim. So in order to do this, the elves have left the material plane and have moved to their own dimension, and so we need to create a portal to link them back to the overworld. And so to do that, I'm going to need a large supply of mana, some pylons, and a gateway core. And so I'm going to need the ability to make terra steel. I'm going to need to make pylons. I'm going to need to place them and make this ring pattern, and eventually I'm going to need to provide mana pools for those pylons that need to be kept full, and that's a lot of stuff that I have to do. So before I can even get to that, I need to get a better source of mana. So what I'd like to do is start moving down towards the rune creation, since I know that one of the things that I'd really like to try is this Kekamurus. So the Kekamurus is a cake-eating flower, which is going to basically require well, it's going to be a while. Elven pixie dust. Oh, I didn't realize that was a prerequisite. Okay, so shoot. Yeah, the pixie dust is just gonna... Oh dear. Well, now I kind of feel a little silly because I'm looking way down the road when I haven't even done the first steps. So let's work here and see if I can at least do the basic mana producing flowers. Let's try to make a hydrangea. So hydrangea is a little more simple. We're just going to need blue petals, mana petals, cyan petals. Okay. And pink petals. Okay. So I'm not sure if I need to find a better way to melt down these flowers, but I do have quite a bit here from just you know, running down running fertilizer through that auto producer. Let's see, where's my do I have cyan in here? Yep, mystical cyan flowers. So let's grab some pieces. I'm probably going to want to automate this, so let me just give an example of what I might need to do here. So for the hydrangea, I'm going to need that blue mana petal, cyan mana petal, and I think that should be it. So let's head over to our mana pool. And just an example, if we drop one of the petals in, yep, okay, And let's drop one of these in. So blue mana petal, cyan mana petal. So let's grab the item filter back out. And blue and cyan. Throw that guy in. And so with this formula, so one cyan to cyan and blue to blue. And what that should do is once I place the items in here, think, I should be able to order up items on demand. So here, let's just order, I don't know, 10? Oops. Let's put these back in the inventory. Mana petals. So let's craft 10. And what should happen is that items are slowly dropping over here. Whoops, and I'm too close because my ring of magnetization is picking them up. Alright, let's throw those back in. And that should finish the formula. Let's make blue mana petals, 10, start, move back a little bit more. So now we see items are falling in. Oh dear. You know, I think items are actually falling onto the rails here because I can't close the gap above this mana pump. So if you see here, there's a little bit of a gap, and whoops, let's get that moving again. So items are falling out because of the spreader. I need a better dropper mechanism that's going to drop it straight down and not off to the side. So I think that there actually is a block that can do that. And I think it's provided by the by Botania. So let's take a look. So here's the device that I need. It's called a open crate. So this is exactly my problem. So droppers and dispensers aren't precise. So yeah, so accepts items from hoppers or other means and drops to an item directly below it. So the open crate can be given a... Oh, okay, for redstone will prevent it from getting picked up. So, living wood planks, that actually seems simple enough. My 2900 living wood. Alright, living wood planks. There we go, open crate. I'm kind of curious then. Will this actually be that simple for me to just swap out? And then I won't need this redstone clock anymore. So, let's try that again. So let's make 10 more blue mana petals. And I guess the only dilemma now Oh, I see. I have to cancel the old recipe. Let's cancel all this. Alright, so let's try making the formula again. Oh, now let's take that off. Okay. Alright, so now we definitely have a problem because the open crates do not accept inputs from the ME interface. So I think I'm going to have to kind of work around this. Let's grab a chest. Let's put it off to the side here. And then we'll use our wrench and change the direction of the interface to hopefully feed into the chest. So let's try the formula again. So in theory, this should feed the items here into the chest, and then what I need to do is create a just a simple item duct. I think with a servo should be enough to basically feed that from the chest back into the open crate. So let's do it like this, and enable. Up there goes the blue mana petal, which drops into the mana pool. And 5, 4. Okay, so it's working, but it's much slower than it was before. I wonder, since there won't be any conflict of mixing, I can turn off blocking mode, and then that should hopefully blue mana petal to drop to the bottom, to be dropped in here, to go back to the ME system, and oh, that's an old one. Done. All right, so let's do one more end-to-end test. Alright, so I apologize for the delay, but what it looks like is that the open crate must have a air block, an empty space underneath it before it drops onto the mana pool. So the item is actually, I think, spewed upwards into this empty area, and that is why the items were not dropping out of the open crate. So once I put items here, they're going to infuse and show up in the bottom chest and get sucked back out. So now my formula should work after all that. Cyan mana petals, let's make another 10. Mystical petals, of course, are missing because they're right here in my inventory. 10. Next. Start. So items are dropping in, being absorbed almost as fast as they can drop, and done. So I'm gonna have to see if there's another way I can hook this. I'll have to do it off camera to see if if this is a little cleaner implementation here to auto craft the items. So let's head back and get to work on that flower. So to make the hydrangea, now I can take the blue petals, the pink petals, the cyan petal. So this is the only part of Botania I really don't care for. This is a little too wacky with the way that it doesn't really. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of needing to drop items. I wonder if I could. Nah, I'm not going to work with that right now. But let's drop all this into the dropper, which are going to drop into the and I forgot seeds. So the very last step. Do I have any I'm willing to get rid of? Yeah, let's get rid of our 222. Drop in one seed. And I got the formula wrong. Okay, now I should have everything right. So, let's drop in a blue mana petal, a blue regular petal, a cyan petal, 2 regular cyan petals, a pink petal, and seeds. And out should come 1 hydrangea. Great. So, I can whip up a formula for that now that I know the combination. So, what I should need to do is that the hydrangea are powered from basically water source blocks. So let's dedicate this area over here. Gonna need to make a couple more. Let's try that again. Now that I have a little more understanding. 1 hydrangea made from 2 cyan, 1 of these, 1 of these, a pink, and a seed. And let's grab some of our generic seeds. An or dictionary generic seed. Great. So with that and the hydrangea formula, wow, that was fast. So let's put in the formula here and edit the whitelisting here. So now I should just be able to whip up 3 more. We can see how it should be dropping items into, yep, there we go, 1 and 2, and there should be the 3rd very shortly. Okay, so now we have to figure out how to place the items. So for that, we need some water. Alright, now these hydrangeas by themselves are not going to be able to block water. So if you see, if I just place a source block, they're going to just wash away. So what I need to do is combine the hydrangea with another type of item, a floating flower, in order to make these floating hydrangeas. And the floating hydrangeas should be able to block the water source blocks from knocking them over. So let's take a look at our mystical flowers. So the most abundant one we have right now is a light gray. And so we have pasture seeds. I demonstrated how to make that in another episode. And they're a special kind of, let's see, brown glimmering. Alright, so glimmering flowers, I have to mix glowstone with these flowers. So let's grab a bunch and let's grab some glowstone. So let's just grab, I don't know, 4 for now. Great. Let's make up a formula of our pasture seeds and dirt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's then mix those floating flowers with the hydrangeas to make floating hydrangeas. And with that, let's grab a bit of dirt and fill this underneath. I'll have to think of another place to put it, but I think for now I'm just going to try to keep all the flowers together here in this corner of this pasture. So let's head up, knock out a couple blocks. And one more here. And let's place the 4 flowers in the corner. And in theory, I should be able to start putting down... Ah, yes. Those are going to eat my... Alright, let's grab a couple buckets. And grab some water. So those are going to absorb water pretty fast, it looks like. So I'm going to have to make some water source blocks. Yeah, pretty quickly, I think. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay, let's grab some more of these. Hopefully I can make the Great. Okay. Before the flowers get thirsty again. Great. So, with that, that should now be giving these flowers the ability to... Oh boy, okay. So these are already full. Are almost full. So I need a way to... I need a mana spreader now. And just from a... let's see if... can I link this to this mana spreader? Yes. Okay, same thing. I read that the... a single mana spreader can hold up to... Oops. Okay, that... Well, let's unlink that. That a single mana spreader can handle up to 28 flowers. So this is going to beam the energy back to the original spreader. It's pretty long distance, so I'm a little worried about it, the pulse, the mana depreciating as it travels. But we can see it is properly draining the mana out of the flower, so the next time they're ready to eat, they'll absorb a water block, which will then fill up from the water source blocks, and that'll be great. So that's then pushing mana down here, and great. So that should start filling up these blocks much quicker. So with that, I think I'm going to call it an episode. There was a lot of trial and error there as I worked my way through, but I think I learned something today, which is, hey, that's all I can really hope for here playing Minecraft, because there's just so many different mods and things that I'm really not that familiar with, but you know, I guess I got to learn sometime. So with that, if you could please leave a like or a comment. Let me know what I could have been doing differently. If there's another, you know, if any of you guys have suggestions about what my path should be towards early game mana collection. I think that the hydrangeas and probably the lava flowers are the next step. But I'll see if I can find something, or if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. And I will see you next time on Agrarian Skies 2. Bye!